Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So apparently Anitons, or at least the new team that owns the rights to it, is planning on making a return because of the success of palworld. Now, for a really brief history lesson, Anitons was supposed to be an open-world monster taming survival game inspired by Ark and had many similarities to something like palworld, but without the guns and brutality. That being said, the game tried a Kickstarter campaign back in the day. That Kickstarter campaign failed. Then the rights were given to another team. Then that team tried Kickstarter, that one failed as well, but it seems with the success of palworld, they're gonna try again, but potentially under another name. The statement they put out on their Discord server says the following: "Hello, maybe anyone is still there. If someone is and you don't know me, I am CEO of Crazy Goat Games, so the guy that should have a clear vision for the company and all the answers, except I do not. Have you been playing palworld? This is an awesome game. It shares a lot of what we thought Anitons would be. Anitons, after so long, are still in the teams and my hearts. With 2 failed Kickstarter campaigns, we were supposed to forget and move on, but what if we can't? I have so many questions. Maybe this is the moment to try Anitons Kickstarter one final time, but how should the game look to offer something fresh now that palworld is already out? Does anyone still care about Anitons at all? If you are still here and have any opinions about any of these, please share. I clearly need help to figure this out. Any help?" Now, there's also more context in the general chat. The dev's been chatting with a few people back and forth. There's been some criticism about this. That might be a video for another day, but it does seem that they are planning on moving forward with Anitons in some type of way, even if they call it something else. Now, all of that being said, I do want to point out something, and this is something I've seen thrown around about Anitons a little bit on social media, that being the idea that the only reason palworld succeeded and it didn't was because of the Pokemon-esque designs, and I couldn't disagree more. Sure, palworld has a lot of similar features to Anitons, however, the marketing behind palworld and just the look and feel of the game is what I think really pushed it, and this is something that the dev team that currently runs the game has even mentioned, in that they're not the best at marketing. And furthermore, the second time around, the game was not going to have any sort of multiplayer and had a lot of cut features that were originally planned for the initial version of the game when the old studio had it. The other big difference is that palworld wasn't a Kickstarter project. It's a lot easier to get people on board with buying something than investing in something. And this is especially true when a lot of recent Kickstarter games in general just haven't been keeping their promises. The dev team also started working on a new project called Wolfkins that also ended up getting dropped. So I'm gonna take this announcement as a massive chunk of salt because I'm not really sure if anyone's going to be able to deliver with all of those sort of wishy-washy things surrounding this game. I think there is potential for a game like Anitons to exist and have relative success. However, it's going to need a ton of commitment and marketing from the development studio, but not just that. It will also have to give us a reason to play it over palworld, which is something that I feel like a lot of developers in general forget when it comes to development. For example, I love Pokemon games, but if every single monster taming game was just exactly like Pokemon with no differences, they wouldn't really be enjoyable because I could just play Pokemon. Instead, we see a lot of games that will share similarities with Pokemon or Ark or other games, but also feature their own unique twist, and that's kind of what we want to see. There's already been a lot of criticisms in the general chat with people accusing the developers of basically trying to get the community to make the game for them. I wouldn't go that far. I think they're looking for feedback and whatnot, but I've also seen some people say that it seems like they're just jumping back on Anitons because of the popularity of palworld, which I also can't really blame them because Anitons was supposed to be something similar, even if it didn't match palworld pound for pound in certain aspects. But again, we'll have to see. I'm really curious to know your guys' thoughts behind this. Let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.